process of recording the second album feels a lot more satisfying. For me, the most important things, like the way it makes you feel, the way it can kind of open up your heart when you listen to it, and I don't know, it's like somebody just reaching in and twisting a tap open and like flood of joy and being delighted to be alive.
It's just such a pleasure being with such talented musicians, because every time the bow hits the string or the finger hits the ivory, just something very nice happens. And you know, I've never thought of that as a given, but it does happen a lot with this gang.
One of the things that was in my mind initially before we came together as a band, like when we were when I was, you know, pondering this idea, was that all the musicians had a kind of an aesthetic field that had, you know, compatibility all around. And what has happened over the course of time is that has come closer and closer and closer, so that I could now see each piece of music as a distinct expression of feeling. You know, and I think this album just has more feeling in it than the first one, you know. So it's kind of, there's a kind of a joyfulness in it. And in some cases, like, I think it feels like almost a little euphoric here and there, you know. Maybe that's an overstatement of the experience of it, but it is certainly joy. And I think there's a lot of childlike simplicities in it, you know. I think learning to play very simply and to not be afraid to play in an innocent and kind of vulnerable way, you know. In other words, like not playing as if though there was a point to be proven about how one plays, you know.
The main thing is to make it sound natural, and I think we've done that with this album. I'm happy with it in that we didn't overwork it and didn't play the tunes over, you know, 1,000 times to try and get what we wanted.
My role has been partly that in meeting Irla, Cuivine, Dennis, and Martin, I'm listening from very much outside the tradition. I think it can sometimes be hard for any of them to hear what it is that they do that is extraordinary, that reaches beyond the bounds of that, and that really will just like touch anybody. And so I think that's been my role in this band, is to honestly to have very little regard for the tradition and to just be listening to, like, okay, simply as an artist, simply as someone who is trying to move other people, what is it that you can do that no one else can do?